Hello, and thank you for being here. My name is Darius Radmanesh, though you are welcome to call me Dar. As an American author, historian, researcher, and genealogist, my work focuses on the deep-rooted forces that shape our collective history. In this presentation, I want to address an issue that rarely gets the honest attention it deserves. Over time, we have come to accept this condition as a normal part of everyday life, a natural byproduct of modern society. However, the reality is quite different. I am referring to a quiet crisis that has compromised our culture and woven itself into almost every aspect of our daily lives. The corporate affliction and its most toxic fruit, greed. Instead of sticking to an organic lifestyle built around essentialism, focusing strictly on what we actually require to thrive, we have surrendered to a synthetic path of excessive materialism. And if you wish to see the ultimate walking personification of this synthetic excess, you need look no further than the modern corporation. Consider the machinery of it. Corporations are literally designed to be artificial, non-human entities that exist for one singular, ravenous purpose: infinite synthetic growth. They possess no natural limits, they have no human hearts, and they have absolutely no conception of the word enough. They have become the engine of our culture, pumping out the very advertising and psychological pressure that keeps us trapped on this artificial treadmill. To keep this grand machine running, corporate marketing relies on a rather sophisticated form of emotional manipulation. They weaponize our deepest insecurities. And so on that note, let us reflect upon the timeless words and warning of one of our nation's greatest presidents, Abraham Lincoln, and I quote, "What happens when you can buy absolutely anything on earth, but you still want to die? It is a profound and rather terrifying paradox, isn't it? We live under the absolute dictatorship of an illusion. We are taught from our very first breath that human progress is inextricably bound to individual accumulation. More wealth, we are told, means a better life. But the truth, the ugly, undeniable truth, is that once a man secures enough to cover his basic comforts and establish his independence, any money stacked up after that point completely changes its nature. Extra cash simply stops yielding a grain of genuine happiness or fulfillment or satisfaction. The root of our modern malaise is that we, as a species, have veered entirely off our natural path. I see in the near future a crisis approaching that unnerves me and causes me to tremble for the safety of my country. Corporations have been enthroned, and an era of corruption in high places will follow. And the money power of the country will endeavor to prolong its reign by working upon the prejudices of the people until all wealth is aggregated in a few hands and the republic is destroyed." These were the words Lincoln wrote in a letter on the 21st of November, 1864, to Colonel William F. Elkins. These demagogues and agenters of greed and excess materialism, manufacture artificial desires, selling you a solution that promises status only to leave you feeling infinitely emptier once the novelty wears off. Our brains simply are not wired to handle this constant psychological bombardment. Humans adapt to luxury with a frightening, tragic speed. Yesterday's privilege quickly becomes today's baseline expectation, a cycle exacerbated by corporations that intentionally design products to break forcing you into the next upgrade. And because buying things can never fill an internal void, the pursuit of wealth becomes a bottomless pit. Or, once they have taken possession of all the material wealth that they have exploited and sucked dry from this world, they then, in a desperate attempt to quench their insatiable appetite and greed, they then turn their sights to the heavens and aspire to covet the wealth of other worlds. Alas, a futile quest it shall be, a desperate hunger to quench and fill a void within themselves that can never be quenched, nor can it ever be filled, for it is an emptiness that is eternal and without end. Extreme wealth allows a tiny minority to purchase insulation from the rest of the world. They hide behind gates and boardroom walls, a practice that systematically kills basic human empathy. On a grander scale, it warps our political systems, rigs the rules, and creates massive inequality. While infrastructure crumbles, vast resources sit stagnant in offshore tax havens instead of circulating to improve society. But this synthetic trap is not inevitable. History shows that humanity has repeatedly tried to push back against the madness of excess. Centuries ago, Jean-Jacques Rousseau warned us against the dawn of this consumer revolution. Ancient philosophical traditions from the Stoics of Greece to the deep spiritual tenets of Taoism have always preached that true freedom means mastering your desires, not serving them. To heal, we must actively choose to step off this corporate treadmill. True fulfillment does not come from hoarding excess. It comes from returning to that organic path of essentialism. We must start measuring success not by the capital an individual or a corporation can accumulate, but by how deeply connected we are to our natural needs, our communities, and the world around us. And so let us together dare to aspire to a brighter future for ourselves and the world, and let us finally turn the page on the age of greed and instead usher in a new dawn. The returning to our natural path and once more taking our rightful place within the ranks and file of nature's realm. I thank you and hope you enjoyed this presentation, and goodbye.